Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome once again. Today we're going to talk about Waawiindamaagewin, or what is called the Promise. And if you take a look in the background behind me, you see water, and that water also can represent that promise, nebe. That's what we call water. And part of that is when you think about the history of us as Anishinaabe people, what you're really looking at then is the promise. We have an organization called Waawiindamaagewin, and it's part of the Robinson-Huron Treaty litigation. And part of it is also then, we take a look at the history. What does that water really represent to us? Well, it's a promise of life, a good life. And if we take care of that promise, in turn, the promise will take care of us. And as life goes on, in the beginning of time, water has been here. It's been clean. It helps us, nourishes us. So we have to look at how we're damaging this promise. And I don't just mean for Anishinaabe people. I also mean people from all over. Native, non-native, visitors. We're talking about everyone. And the promise wasn't just meant for us as Anishinaabe people. It was also meant for everyone. All the creatures of this land drink water. The moose, the deer, the bear. All of these things come into play now. And then we talk about how this promise is life-sustaining. But as we damage this promise, what's really happening is we're actually damaging ourselves. We're the ones hurting this promise. We're the ones going against what the Creator gave us, and that promise of life. And life itself is precious, just like the water. That water is precious. If we drink it, it can help us. If we drink it in a good way and do all these other things with it, cook our food, we bathe, we have the ability then to look at how the promise can actually fulfill our purpose. But as we work against the promise, it's no longer there anymore, the promise of a good life. So as time goes on though, since the beginning of time, you look at evolution. And evolution itself, we became selfish to the promise. And we did what we wanted to do with it. And now if you take a look at the world, places are now drying up. Water, we have to buy water. This water over here is still clean. We can drink it. But for how long? How long are we going to work against this promise of the Creator, of this good life? And if we keep on going for who knows how long, maybe this promise won't be here for very much longer. Why? Well, if it's a finite thing, meaning that it could end. If that ends, so do we. Not just us as Native people, but everybody. And that's how it's going to happen. Unfortunately, you can't drink a lot of water in this world anymore because of the pollution, because of toxicities in the water. But if we just allow nature to take care of itself, and we do our part the way we're supposed to be doing it, we would have plenty of water for everyone. Nature would go back to the way it was supposed to be. And then, once it all begins that way, then you can see that the promise will take care of us. If we lie or anything like that, be greedy, selfish, promise no longer works. So with that, I say miigwech.